Hello and welcome to another episode of Chasing Green Arrows. Today we have with me our co-host as usual, Musti. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Good, good, all good. And then we of course have our United boys, Zohair and Yusuf. How are you guys doing today? Zohair?
A little bit heartbroken, man. A little bit heartbroken. A lot of misery, a lot of sadness, a lot of the doom and gloom of the world is surrounding me today.
All is not lost, bro. All is not lost. And
That's
moving
true.
on.
All is not lost. Indeed, all is not lost.
But anyway, Yusuf, how are you doing?
I don't think it's doom and gloom, more anger, but not anger, frustration probably is more accurate. But like you said, all is not lost. But like we can get into it. But basically, the things that we predicted are the weak points turned out to be the weak points. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
about it, yeah.
yeah.
Let's get right into it. We'll be discussing the games today, and we'll be kind of just going over the games, and we'll talk about how this impacts the final game day and what our predictions are for the final game day for the top four. Right? Let's get right into it. Musti, you want to go first? What are your thoughts on the United and West Ham game?
I thought you were gonna ask me about the Villa Arsenal game, man. Yeah, the United game. I was really frustrated while the game was going on. A very lethargic performance. They looked tired out again. No pace. No. I wouldn't say lack of intent. Just a very slow game. They should have moved the ball more quicker. I think it was an opportunity lost, but like if you look at it at the end, it's not that big of a loss. The result, it's not that bad actually. But what's more frightening is the performance. Like if you perform like that against Leicester, Vardy will punish you. So that's what I'm more worried about. But if you look at it, a draw, it doesn't matter. It's still in our hands. If you win or draw against Leicester, you go through to the Champions League. But it's just the actual performance which was frustrating. The actual result didn't impact it too much. Yes, there is a bit of. It would have been nice to have a 2 point cushion on Chelsea as well. But nonetheless, same. You got to go for a draw or win, and you go through.
Yep, I think yeah. Once you get through the Champions League, you can kind of figure out the issues and then try and work on them in the break, of course. But
Yeah, and what was Pogba doing, man? Only Zoe can explain. I don't know.
Let me call up Souness, man. Souness is going to be having a field day with what Pogba is doing.
yeah,
Um,
you want to go?
yeah, sure, man. I mean, honestly, very strange performance today. A little bit of everything, some goods, some bads. It was obviously disheartening to see us go down 1-0 to a goal like that. No reason for that sort of thing to be happening. You're a top tier elite level footballer and you can't be conceding handballs like that. Like what's going on? At the same time, nice to see the response from the boys. But like Musti was saying, the performance overall today was lacking. There was a lack of incisiveness. There was a lack of offensive threat. It just never looked like we were really there. It never really looked like we were going to be able to take the ball uh, you know, uh, to West Ham. We always looked like we were just kind of like a step behind. It's, I guess we were going through the motions. But I think West Ham felt pretty secure that they were going to walk away with at least a point.
That's true. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I think getting the Champions League will kind of really help in that process. Of course, Yusuf, any inputs to add?
Like I'm someone who doesn't like let things go sometimes, and it's like it was the same issues that I saw because I watched the full match this time, and unlike the FA Cup semi-final, and it was the same thing when we were on the ball. We were very slow, very lethargic. You can definitely blame fatigue because Ole has been using the same squad basically since the restart. Barring a couple of changes here and there, and I think like we discussed offline, the FA Cup should have been complete rest for the first team. Like let it go because top four is more important, and he didn't do that. And again, that harkens back to what Mustafa said regarding Ole's tactics and how they're a bit circumspect at times. Like man management is one thing we've been maybe lacking since Ferguson, but the tactics he still needs to grow into that as a manager. He's not like, oh, he's the complete package, he's the next Ferguson or anything like that. So for me, the biggest issues were fatigue, which then brought about the lack of kind of snappiness that we need. And when we're snappy, we're really good. We're deadly, especially on the counter. So we did. And I think the commentators are saying that against the bottom 10, we've gotten less points than we've gotten from the top 10 teams in the Premier League. So that also kind of talks about like how there's less chances to counter. So like we're great on the counter, but we definitely need to improve our game on the ball.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Yep, definitely. I think there's lots to improve. I think, and there's hope over there. But at least getting the top four is very, very important. Moving on, who do you think was the best player of this team? Zoe, you want to go?
Oh man, United player of the
Your man of
game.
the match, pretty much.
I mean, I think it'd have to be a toss-up between Mason and Bruno. I'm actually, more inclined to give it to Mason.
Yeah.
Just because he did score the goal, he was always a threat. He was always trying to create something, and for him to step up over the likes of Rashford and Martial, even though those guys were trying as well, I like to give it to Mason for that one. And it is something nice that I'm seeing that our forward line doesn't really give up. Our forward line is always trying to score. Sometimes they might not necessarily get all the support that they need from the midfield and the rest of the team, but as a self-contained unit of forwards, they're always trying their best to keep us in the hunt for the game, keep trying to score goals, keep trying to keep us excited.
Yep, definitely. I think after a couple of quiet games from Mason, I think this was a good performance, and he scored the goal. Of course, that helped. And then from West Ham's perspective,
You want me to take that?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'll go Declan Rice. I think he dominated the midfield. Really good range of passing. Created some good chances. He was actually bossing that area. So he was very impressive. And I think he was easily their player of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you should go ahead. Any push ahead?
For West Ham, I'd like to also add. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but the guy playing right wing, he was fantastic. Even even on the 80th minute, he was just pushing forward. I forgot his name, and he was giving some really good balls. He was himself making runs into the box and stuff. So like West Ham, I think as the game went on, their stamina showed them to be the better team, and they were way more comfortable on the ball. And in fact, like at the end of the game, I was happy that at least we grew. Like
talking about Bowen, right?
Bowen, yes, that's him. He was fantastic. Like the West Ham generally were also really good. On the right side, I forgot his name, Mason Jones or something. I forgot it. The right back as well.
West Ham down the right back row, they have Aaron Cresswell.
No, that's left back.
I think
left back. And then they have Ben Jones.
Ben Jones, that kid was good too. Yeah, he was pretty solid too.
Jones,
Jared Bowen. Okay, yeah. But yeah, you guys agree with Mason Greenwood as United's player of the game?
Yeah, Greenwood.
I would like to just add David De Gea stepped up in this match. And
don't talk about him, man.
he got us into this mess or whatever, but like he definitely had some good saves. So I'll just throw an honorable mention, but not the man of the match.
See, but that's it, right? Like that's the problem with talking about Dave, because when we talk about his performances this season, how he's been slipping, and he's been really a weakling for us and whatnot. But you still look at the number of clean sheets that he has, and he has a significant number of clean sheets. It's not like he's not keeping clean sheets. He's keeping a bunch, but it's just that those errors that he does end up making just end up being howlers and just go top of mind. So they're right at the top of your brain. You're always thinking about them. When generally speaking, hot take maybe, but he's been pretty solid this season.
I think the difference was that he wasn't wearing hair gel today. He didn't have any hair gel, so he was like serious.
I think this was just a full biased opinion from me.
I think we'll give you that biased opinion. We won't take that any further. Like I said, all is not lost. I think the Chelsea result really helps you guys for sure, and the Chelsea result definitely helps. But anyway, moving on. Of course, the game that the goal fest that we were over at Anfield, 5-3 Liverpool. What are your thoughts on this game? Zoe, you want to go? You want to take this one first?
Yeah, man, I was really surprised with how this game panned out, because just in general, I wasn't expecting it to be such a high-scoring affair. I thought that Chelsea would go out with a compact game plan. We've seen Lamps do it before, where depending on he's very pragmatic manager in terms of his team selection, in terms of his tactics and whatnot. And I felt like he would pick a team that would be designed to frustrate Liverpool, but at the same time, he's not going in there happy with, let's say third, or just happy with top four. He's trying to go in there and get as much as he can. So he's got that in him. So coming back to it, it was just like I was surprised at the lineups that were picked, and I was just surprised by how the game went. I thought it was going to be a more stuck in midfield, turgid sort of affair, but we got like this really open, expansive box-to-box game, and it was a great joy to watch the neutral.
Why didn't Pulisic start?
Yeah, it's a strange one to me because he didn't start the FA Cup game as well. So I
It
was
must be a
surprised.
knock or something because
Yeah,
it's
but then he came on and he was incredible. So
yeah.
it's
I mean,
surprising that.
yeah.
Yeah. But any thoughts to add, Musti? Any other?
I mean, that's the thing for me. Lamps tactically is he's smart. Like that's what we're missing as a United team. Ole, like in terms of tactics, that's what he's missing. Like you saw those substitutions, they changed the game. That's what you needed today. That's what you needed against Chelsea in the semi-final. But Ole couldn't provide that. But Lampard tactically, I think he's much more astute. He's also learning on the job, but you could see that he's aware of the situation. And those three changes completely changed the game. Pulisic came on, Abraham scored straight away, and then Pulisic scored. I think those are some great tactics from Lampard. But Chelsea, again, the defense looks weak. Conceding too many goals, 5 goals, it's a bit too much, especially when you're fighting for the Champions League spot. And now against Wolves, that'll be the same thing. They'll score goals, but Wolves have a decent attack as well. So they'll have to be careful when it comes to the defense.
100%, 100%. I think I'm a little bit surprised by the way Chelsea is going through in the market as well. They're going for attacking players. They already got ZH and they have the other guy as well, but they're looking
Timo
for
Werner.
Yeah,
Werner.
yeah,
So now
plenty
they're
of
looking for-
attack. Yeah.
which I'm a little bit surprised. I think they need to go. They need to find a defender. But anyway, that's the thing. Any
Yeah.
thoughts to add, Yusuf? Any other inputs?
I think this Liverpool team is definitely one of the greatest Premier League teams to play. In terms of when they're on their game, it seems like they're devastating. And like someone like Trent Alexander-Arnold, he seems to be a fantastic player. He's so aggressive when he goes up front. I think they're deserving champions, even though City have not played bad. It sucks to admit it as a United fan, but I think they're deserving champions. When they're on song, they're fantastic. And I think Salah didn't have that much of a great game today. He missed a few sitters, or at least one sitter, I believe.
One definitely. But the way he gets himself into those positions, it's just immaculate. I mean, it's just so amazing. Just that chemistry that Liverpool were playing with today. It was a 5-star performance again. And then of course they got the 5 goals. Defensively, probably a couple of questions again because they did give away a couple of goals here and there. But just pretty solid performance overall, I think. But Musti, the player of the game for you for Liverpool?
For Liverpool, don't know, man.
It's gotta be Trent, no?
Yeah, probably. Like, I mean, that free kick was next level, and then the assist. Yeah, probably I would go.
I just felt like Kepa could have done more in that free kick, though. But it was a pretty good shot. But I just felt like Kepa was surprised.
Yeah, definitely. But then, I mean, Trent does provide you that threat always. Like, I mean, like that could have been saved, like you said. But the way he whips and balls attacking, he provides so much for Liverpool. And again, today he showed that.
And that inch perfect pass to Firmino's goal as well.
That header, oh my God, that cross was perfect. Like
inch perfect. It was just like all he needed to just direct it into the goal, and it was just that's it. There was nothing else to it.
Yeah, the only reason I was a bit hesitant was because they conceded 3 goals. That's the problem with Trent and Robertson. They fly forward and then coming back. It could have been potentially dangerous. Like if Chelsea got another one back, it would have been 4-4, right? So I think that's why I was a bit hesitant. But if you're looking at it overall, probably Trent.
Yeah. Zol, you want to take the Chelsea's player of the game?
The Chelsea player of the game. So this was a toss-up for me, but was it really a toss-up? I mean, I think it's Captain America,
Yeah. Pulisic.
I think it's Captain America. I think it was Pulisic. I think he came on. I think he had a fantastic game. And I really think that he has quite easily stepped into the shoes that Hazard left behind. Obviously, he's not there just yet in terms of, full, capacity and contributions at the same level that Hazard was. He's still not at that same level of being able to kill off a game and whatnot. But I think that he has so many of those same tools, and he's young, and he is at Chelsea at the perfect time. They're going to account for that. They're going to contribute for that, and they're going to put him with players that are going to help bring out the best in him as well by bringing in someone like Timo Werner, by bringing in someone like Hakim Ziyech, by bringing in possibly Kai Havertz. All these additional players are only going to make are only going to make him feel better playing for Chelsea. Are going to only make him feel more comfortable, and he's going to get better and better and better. And that's such a good place to be in. Like, he's had a year to gel with his existing teammates at the level that they're at, and now you've got heavy reinforcements coming in. I think it's a great place to be.
I agree 100%. I mean, incredible impact already in the Chelsea in his first year, and that beautiful run to give to pass it to Tammy to finish that off was quite something.
He had a goal chance
Good
before that as well, right? Just before he scored.
before
He could
you,
have scored 2 goals easily. Like, yeah. I mean, getting into those positions, attacking positions, providing a big threat for oppositions. Yeah.
that run was incredible. Just to like go through 2 or 3, get past 3 or 4, I think Liverpool players,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then just perfect pass into Tammy to just tap it in. That was pretty nice.
Definitely.
Moving on, just I think final question. Just thinking about the final top 4. What are you guys' predictions, guys? It sets up really well for a final game day between Leicester, Chelsea, and United, of course. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Yusuf, you want to take that one first?
I guess I'm the pessimist of the bunch. I think we're running out of gas, and I think it'll be it's not going to be very easy for us to secure top 4. Like Mustafa said, like if Jamie Vardy gets going against us, he's just going to start running behind our defense. So I don't know if Ole is going to take a risk and if he's going to change the lineup or will he continue with it. It's going to be a very interesting team selection to start with, and then depending on what's on, because his Pogba today was not that into the game. Like he was not interested in today's game, and he volleyballed the freaking penalty, right? So I'm gonna say
Zoe, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Good.
Like, you really took that loss to heart, the draw to heart.
I was just like kind of sad here, just thinking about it. Just makes me feel like, oh man. Okay.
But I'll just say that I think we will finish top 4. I think there's I think we can do it, but it'll be very difficult. I think Leicester will suffer.
So you think Chelsea at 3rd and United at 4th?
Yeah, I'll give it that much. Yeah.
Zoe, what do you think?
I got United at 3rd, man. I got United at 3rd. See, I took that time to get all that negativity down out of my system. Now I'm all positive. So for me, I think that we can really make it in as 3rd. Like the results, the way that they stand up right now, we are 3rd, which is cool. I know it depended on some really wonky math, goals scored, goal difference, all that sort of stuff. There's so many things that are like coming in at the same markers that it's such a unique situation. But I think it's very, very possible for us to finish up 3rd. And I think that's what we should be going for. I think it'll be really cool if we do finish 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know what the chances of like us finishing 3rd and Chelsea also being in there at 4th and Leicester be dropping out would be. I'd love it for it to be, obviously Liverpool City and then United Leicester as the top 4. I would love for that to happen.
If Wolves win, then regardless of the result, if United lose, they still go through, right?
There's a lot of permutations and combinations. So if Wolves win, United will go through for sure. That's for sure,
Right,
because
right.
they already are better on goal difference. But if let's say so, then that would if Wolves loses, I'd love for United also to lose. That way, it kind of, or at least draw. That way, it gives Leicester that point to come up. That would be nice. But Musti, for you, what are your predictions?
I mean, look, on paper, I think United should win this game because Leicester don't have Madison, they don't have Chilwell, and correct me wrong, they don't have Perez as well.
They don't.
Yeah, so those are 3 key players. On paper, United need to take that game. I'm not even talking about draw. I mean, they should win that like 2-3-1, right? Like, or 2-3-0. I mean, if United are on form. But the thing is, because of fatigue and recent performances, it's going to be an edgy game. But still, I feel that United should at least get a point. Like, I mean, it'll be very heartbreaking if they don't get a point from that game at least. So I would say probably United 3rd, Chelsea 4th, but ideally United 3rd and Leicester 4th.
Feels like everyone wants Chelsea out of the game.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea will get a point at least from Wolves. I don't think
I think it's very, very, very important for us. I mean, and I say us in the sense because we're all talking about United's prospects of it. Is that we cannot go with the hope of taking a point, or we cannot go in with the hope of coming away with a draw. I think the impetus has to be on a win.
Yeah.
We have to go in there
100%.
looking for those 3 points. Because if we don't go in looking for those 3 points, I don't know if you guys saw, that sort of mentality really affects the team very quickly when you're going in, okay, we're just going to go out for some game management. We're up 2-1. We're not going to try and kill the game off. We're just going to try and control the game, contain the game. And you see how oftentimes other teams very quickly pick up on that, and they go for the kill. They realize that, hey, you know what? These guys aren't going to be attacking. Let's push because they're not going to hit us on the counter. They're looking to just lock down this 2-1 win. We've got nothing to lose. So we shouldn't be inviting teams to put that sort of pressure on us. We should be putting that sort of pressure on them. We should be killing off games as much as possible. And I think that, when you're up 2-1 or when you're up 1-0, I think there's nothing wrong with your first strategy being, let's go kill this game off sort of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to being like, okay, you know what? We'll batten down the hatches. We'll close the windows. We'll prep against the stormy seas and just try to weather the storm. I don't think that's the right approach. I'd much rather go down chasing a goal than what we've seen in previous games. And luckily we got away. And against Southampton, we didn't get away. We scraped by with a draw, where it's like we decided to shut up shop for the day, and we ended up paying the cost by dropping 2 points.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and attacking is United's strength, so they have to go that way. Like, they're not a team where they can just sit back, right? They need to attack. They need goals. So I think that's the way forward. And an early goal or two will settle nerves as well. There'll always be that Jamie Vardy threat, but I think it's all about scoring at the other end, and that's what United have to look at.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. I think the only thing that I want to add to this is that Leicester and United have everything to play for. Wolves is the only team that doesn't really care. Even if they win, they don't have anything as an improvement on the position. So if Chelsea goes on and wins that game, great. But I just wonder who's going to get the more nerves amongst United and Leicester. I feel like United will be more nerves because they are expected as a bigger team to win this. Leicester's coming out there. Of course, they've been in the Champions League before. But for them, it's just more of a, like, let's go out there. That's the only thing. I just feel like what the nerves will do.
I think in terms of fans, the United fans will be more nervous than Leicester fans. But as players, United players are more experienced. And like I said, there's 3 key players missing from that Leicester team. So there is a bit of inexperience there. So as players, I feel that United should be more prepared, and they should handle the nerves better. But as fans, the United fans will be much more nervous because they know a loss and they'll be screwed. Like, everyone's going to banter them left, right, and center, and they're missing out on Champions League, missing out.
It's not like we haven't been bantered before. So
that's not the only thing. But this way, on the last day of the season, it happened. I remember that Aguero goal, and I don't want to remember that again. Like, imagine Jamie Vardy scores a last-minute winner. I won't be able to handle it. So I mean, as a fan, it's more nervous. But then again, for me, I think the players, it's just my expectation that they should be ready for this game. And anything, if it's a loss, then it'll be really disappointing. And that means potentially Ole might get sacked as well. I know it's a controversial statement, but there will be a lot of criticism there.
So if they don't make top 4, you think Ole will get sacked?
I mean, there will be discussion. Like, I don't think he might not get sacked, but there will be discussion. There will be a lot of criticism because football, we've seen, it's a very it's a cutthroat industry, right?
I know it's a cutthroat industry, but at the same time, it's just like, do you give this guy, like, we've talked about it on this podcast before. It's like, hey, you know what? Do we give him that season and see what's up? Because this season he was missing Bruno. Now he has Bruno. You give him a proper window and see what happens. Or, like you said, the other option is you sort of like cut your losses and you're like, you know what? Let's get a big name. Like, I know you mentioned Poch before. Big managers become available all the time. So if there's someone available, that's also something I guess people are going to be considering.
Definitely. I think that's a fair point. It will just set up for a very, very interesting Sunday. Everything to play for United, Leicester, and Chelsea. Looking forward, I feel like it'll be unfortunate that the fans are not going to be in the stadium.
Oof.
That's
a last day finish it's going to be, man. It's going to be
nerve-wracking.
And who would have thought? It's not even relegation, or I mean, there is a relegation battle going on as well, but eyes are on the top 4, third and fourth spot. Like, who would have thought?
And definitely a lot of relegation battles as well with the Villa's victory yesterday kind of opens up a lot again in the relegation.
And they're playing West Ham, so that's going to be a very interesting match.
Yeah, but I think West Ham with the point today, they secured safety, so that's
they're good.
They're good, yeah.
Much to play, so it's pretty much between Bournemouth and Villa who kind of decide what happens in the relegation as well.
And even Watford, right? If they lose, they'll be out.
Watford, sorry, right? Those two of these 3 teams are going to go because Norwich has already taken the drop.
Yeah.
So, but it's just good fun. Very, very exciting Sunday. Looking forward.
Yeah. Before we go, I'll just get. I was gonna get your prediction. Zohar said Leicester and United and Leicester.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My brother.
You said Chelsea and United.
Chelsea and United, and I'm going United Leicester. United Leicester. United Leicester. And you.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate over here and really piss you 3 off. I'm gonna say Leicester and Chelsea.
Leicester and Chelsea. Leicester, Chelsea, Jamie Vardy, huh? And quickly, let's just do the relegation. Who's getting relegated? Don, I'll go with you first because you've been killing it so far. So
He's closer to the end of the table.
yeah, let's go. Trezeguet. Yeah, go for it.
I don't know.
So that was crazy. Yeah.
I just feel like it's gonna be Watford and Villa.
So you're confident in beating Troy Deeney, huh? Because Arsenal is playing Watford.
Yeah. I think we'll beat them. So that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be Watford. I'm pretty sure Watford. It's a toss-up between Villa and Bournemouth for me.
Yeah.
But I just, as a fan of Bournemouth, I like the way they play football. So that's why I want them to stay up. And I'm not such a big fan of Villa's football, so I just want them to go down. I hate John Terry, so.
Yeah, and
statement over there, but I'd like to see them drop. But anyway, that's just my prediction. Musti, you go.
I'm going. The thing is, I think Watford will get relegated as well, but I think Troy Deeney is going to score a hat-trick against Arsenal. So he loves Arsenal. He loves Arsenal, right? So I'm going Bournemouth and Villa to get relegated, but like, it's just that I want Troy Deeney to score a hat-trick, nothing else. Like,
he scores a hat-trick, we score 5 goals.
Yeah, so I'm going. It's hard to tell. Like, even your prediction could be right as well, but I just feel like Arsenal are focusing on the FA Cup game, so they'll take this game lightly. But you never know.
Yeah. So you're going to say Watford and sorry, you said Villa and Bournemouth.
Villa and Bournemouth are going to get relegated. I mean, I'm just going for a wild guess. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this breaks my heart because I really like Bournemouth, but I think Villa and Bournemouth are getting relegated.
Troy Deeney, yeah, score against Arsenal.
And Yusuf, finally, what do you think?
I think Villa's had a decent run of form. I think they might be able to do a miracle on the last day against West Ham. I think Watford and Bournemouth are going down.
Okay, Yusuf with me. I thought all three of you were going to go against me with the Watford victory, but at least Yusuf with me.
Yeah. There needs to be some support for you, bro.
I mean, yours a bit more realistic, I feel, but I'm just going for out of the box.
My top 4 prediction is just to piss you 3 off. But,
yeah.
But,
that's fair. That's fair.
It's a good conversation, guys. Looking forward. We'll be very, very excited or very, very sad for you guys. Podcast.
That podcast is going to be tough, man.
Podcast is going to be something special.
I'm looking forward to that one. It'll be fun to
100%,
see.
100%.
Guys, take care.
All right.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Bye.